2 more wins for the Wolverines this week as they extend their winning streak to 4. You'll hear from head coach Dusty May. One of the program's all-time greats watches his jersey raised to the rafters. Inside Michigan Basketball is presented by Meyer.
Hi everybody, welcome once again. It was quite a wintry weather week in Michigan with whiteout conditions across the state. But the only color the Wolverines were focused on was red, as in Indiana and Ohio State.
So we do get to the rim. Let's finish with power, stay with it, even if we miss and put it back in. Offensive rebounding, fellas, we took a big jump. We got 42% of our misses back on that trip. We got to get that or more tonight. Be determined, man. Let's not just rely on Rez or Will or whoever to get on that offensive glass. We're in motion. We're engaged. We're in the flow of the game. I see the raise of the shot. I'm preparing to get in the fight, but not low side where we're going to hurt us in transition defense. Nope. Defensively, communication. We saw the last time we were in here, those errors, 90% of them were a lack of communication. Clear and concise, talking and listening. Let's be better tonight. Discipline, no more fouls at 75 feet, no more fouls at 40 feet. Rarely are we just going to be able to take a guy's ball 55 feet from the basket. But what we can do is get a deflection, get them into a bad spacing, and then let your teammates do the work and take it, and it doesn't put them in the one-on-ones. And then be disruptive. These guys want to be comfortable. They want this game to be easy. We want this game to, they need to fill us for 40 minutes. Thanks. These guys need to fill us for 40 minutes. Let's go play good ball, man. We have another level. Let's get to it, man.
The Wolverines showed no signs of fatigue just 2 days after returning from their West Coast trip. Their swarming defense held the Hoosiers scoreless for the first 5.5 minutes.
Enright jumping past right wing Sisley, contested three, blocked by Lendebourg, and a loose ball foul.
IU made only one of its first 15 shots.
Up ahead, Cadeau, straight up to shoot, Euros, he flips, he scores! Elliot Cadeau, incredible footwork.
Elliot Cadeau helped Michigan sprint out of the gate offensively.
Back left side, Cadeau pops up a three. Yes, sir! Elliot Cadeau unconscious so far. 10 of Michigan's first 12.
Michigan stroked a half dozen threes in the early going and finished with 10 for the game.
Left side, McKinney, wide open a three. Oh, yeah! Michigan's fourth triple of the game. Johnson push side, left. Here's three. From Burnett, it goes again. Wolverines bombing away from long line.
The Maize and Blue led by as many as 15. Indiana settled in, started making some shots, and briefly trimmed the deficit to single digits. But Cadeau ended the first half with a flurry.
Ankles left point with 5, crosses over left elbow with 4, drives in with 3, banked it up with a left hand and scored it with 1.
40-29 Wolverines at the midway point. Second half, Michigan quickly upped the ante. Adai Mara flipped in a baker's dozen.
He analyzes, he backs down, he flips and scores over Sisley. That was too easy for Adai.
6 minutes in, Namari Burnett made it a 20-point bulge.
Lasers one Lendebourg, jumping past the flex, but gets to Burnett, left corner, a three! They've hit 10 from downtown!
Late in the game, Yaxel Lendebourg brought down the house in transition.
Burnett lob it up, Lendebourg! Grabs it with one hand! On an alley-oop from Burnett!
The big man finished with 15. Michigan goes on to win 86-72, with that defense putting Indiana in the deep freeze.
Beat Indiana. Good win. Let's continue to get better, though, man. We're getting closer. We're getting closer to what we can be. We're not anywhere near where we're not supposed to be. All right, let's bring it in. Here we go.
Friday night, the Wolverines were back at it against the Buckeyes.
Everything they do, they're loaded to the ball, so when we move it, go quickly off of ball screens, don't let them get reset rotations, equals offensive rebounds. When you're loaded that much, it's tough to block out. When I'm all the way over here, it's tough to block out Roddy. We should dominate the offensive guys. If I'm over here, it's a one-step block out. They have an advantage, so with the way they play, we should live on the offensive glass. Defensively, communication, when we're communicating with each other, we're elite defensively. When we're quiet, we're just okay. Scout awareness, we don't let other teams' best players come in here and go off on us anymore. You guys showed that at Indiana. Those two dudes didn't want any part of it. It's the same thing tonight. Their big three are not going to be their big three after tonight. Long threes equal long rebounds. Let's chop our feet up, chop our feet up, play center field. Let's make sure we rebound it, and then we'll have an advantage in transition offense. Guys, we're the better team. Let's go out and play better together. Let's be absolutely obsessed with winning this next possession. Absolutely not thinking about me in any way, shape, or form. I airballed it, I made it, whatever the case. Let's be obsessed with winning the next possession and obsessed with winning this game. All right, let's go get a better team, fellas.
Michigan needed less than 6 seconds to get the game's first basket. Adai Mara with the alley-oop. Yaxel Lendeborg carried the load early for the Maize and Blue.
Up ahead, Lendeborg spins it on White Banks and scores it. 9-6 Michigan. Wolverines block leads to a Yaks bucket.
This Buckeye team, possessing a top 25 offense, went back-to-back from distance to go up by 6.
Right side, Royals catches, leaves Mobley, shot fake, kind of flutters it up there. Got it to go. It's a 3 from the right pocket.
That's about the time the Wolverines started to turn up the heat.
Rebound batted up in the air. Kaysen saves it. 3-on-1. Lendeborg alley-oop. Gale storms it down at the apex. Caught it with his fingertips.
LJ Kaysen followed that up with a fast break bucket.
Michigan down 2. Kaysen, number 2, drives in Euros, floats and scores. Kaysen begging for an and 1.
And then Yaks dished out another dime.
To Lendeborg, right to left. Alley-oop, caught by Johnson. Laid it up over the left side of the rim. Michigan back in front.
The Wolverines closed the half with an 11-4 run and led 33-30 at the break. The Buckeyes opened the second half on a 10-1 spurt to go up by a half dozen. John Mobley Jr. continued to do much of the damage. He finished with a game-high 22.
Left wing, Mobley, up fake, steps to the left, shoots a 3 and swishes it down. Automatic for Mobley right now.
Michigan shouted back with an 11-point blitz. A steal turns into a quick deuce.
Ohio State tries to break the press and Cadeau fleeces Cups. Cadeau no-look bounce feed. Lendeborg spins and got it to go. Oh, he English that one off glass. We're deadlocked at 40.
And the freshman from Flint, Trey McKinney, punctuated the stretch with an and 1.
Backs him down with a spin and a lane and a bank and a score. Counted a foul.
3 of his 12 to put the Wolverines up by 5. But this game featured 12 lead changes. And here once again, OSU goes on top. Rez Johnson answers with a jam off a pocket pass.
Left wing Cadeau, give it to Johnson, drives in and jams it down. Cadeau, a stellar pocket pass for his 5th assist.
Rez 12 points on 6 of 6 from the floor. On a night where Trey Burke's jersey was raised to the rafters, another number 3 stepped up. Elliot Cadeau hitting back-to-back bombs, his first points of the night.
Feeds Cadeau, he tries 3. Bang!
That made it a 9-point game, and Michigan never looked back. Mara popped in 11, and Lendeborg led him with 18 points and 9 boards. A rivalry win, 74-62.
Well, I know I'm new to this, but there was somebody on Ohio State that was talking smack about us, and me personally, I don't take disrespect lightly. So it lit a fire under my behind to just go out there and outperform whoever I have to get this win.
A step closer in our goal, winning the Big Ten championship outright, and then carrying this momentum into March. I think it's a great opportunity for me to be able to go out there and play against some of my friends and win bragging rights. Obviously,
I've been watching this game ever since I was a kid, so just to be able to be on the floor and feel that environment and have the fans come out and support us, I mean, it meant a lot to get that win.
When we return, we'll catch up with head coach Dusty May. Inside Michigan Basketball is brought to you by Meijer, proud supporter of hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest, and by Michigan Medicine. There's a difference between an answer and a Michigan answer.
Joined by head coach Dusty May, and coach, it looked like their zone defense maybe gave you some problems early, but what flipped there in the first half and ultimately got you the lead at the break?
Well, we were able to get out into the open floor a little bit and convert, and that was triggered by our defense. So I thought we were active and aggressive, and we were able to convert some turnovers and ignite us a little bit.
Second half, kind of a back and forth game. I want to ask you about Yaks. He did a lot of your scoring, and A guy like him, he's told me, sometimes I need to be patient, let the game come to me. How do you balance that with a go-get-it attitude right from the start with it when you're the most talented guy on the floor?
Yeah, we don't really want him overthinking it. And even in the first half, I thought out of his 5 threes, 4 of them looked great. They were right on line. They were straight. And so you don't really want to discourage him from shooting rhythm threes, paint touch threes. But I thought in the second half he made a conscious decision to get on the glass, to drive the ball, and just find a different way to impact the game. And it's crazy when you look at a stat line, you don't feel like it's one of his better games, and he has 18, 9, and 4, and 3, or whatever the case. It just shows how many ways he impacts winning.
So you guys only hit 5 threes tonight. It reminds me of a story an old hockey coach told me once. When the power play's not working, you better get the important ones in the third period. Did it feel like that for you guys with those 3 key threes kind of later in the second half?
It did, and those were threes where we felt like they were after offensive rebounds. They were after really good plays versus out of rhythm threes. And their zone had us swinging the ball and kind of shooting in between threes where we were open, but we weren't in rhythm. And so I thought those plays were big to just for us to have a little separation.
Elliott's confidence, scoreless at that point, to step up and make a couple of big threes. Just talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, he's put a lot of work on his shot, and that's where he shot it from. It seems like that's his real comfort money spot. And credit our guys finding him, and there was no doubt that thing looked great coming off of his hand. And Ohio State did a nice job of taking the ball out of his hands. They put 2 on the ball and pick and roll, so he didn't have the same amount of scoring opportunities that he's had lately, but he doesn't care. He's just trying to win, and so he played very unselfishly.
Very early in the year, we talked about Trey McKenney, and he just keeps doing his thing so consistently. What has impressed you most about the way he stepped in here and played such a vital role?
He has the poise of a veteran. I thought tonight was the most comfortable that he's looked. He's in a tough spot where he's splitting minutes, and you come in the game, and sometimes young guys feel like they have to score to stay in or to get extended minutes. I thought he just impacted the game in a number of ways. He took advantage of a couple matchups that he found and scored around the rim, made his free throws in the second half, and just looked incredibly comfortable in a rivalry game that could have gone either way.
Prime time, Friday night, a rivalry game. When you sum it up, how gratifying was this win?
Well, it's fun. It's just we've got to get to the next, though. We have a lot of respect for the Ohio State program. They're as physical as any team we play. They have a really effective big three. All 3 of those guys can get 25 or 30 on a given night, as we saw Mobley do this evening. But overall, just get out of here with the win, and now you start looking towards the next challenge and fight, and that's Nebraska coming in on Tuesday.
Up next, we visit with Michigan great Trey Burke.
There's a steal by Burke! At center court, he'll take it in and jam it down!
Trey Burke, a generational type player if there ever was one. He gave Michigan fans memories that'll last a lifetime. Well, Friday night, the university gave Trey a memory that will last a lifetime.
Trey Burke won National Player of the Year honors in 2013 and led the Wolverines in points, assists, and steals both years he played at Michigan. This moment brings it full circle.
To go up in the Raptors, man, you see I'm jumping around to try to find words. It's hard because I'm so happy right now. I'm so filled with joy. It's tough to just choose a word to describe it. But it's a euphoria type feeling. All of the nostalgia is coming back, all the memories that we made.
When you were first told about this plan, what was your reaction?
Is it too good to be true? That was my first reaction. It's like, are they just playing with me? Because I know that this isn't just something that just happens to everyone. We got great players that aren't up there.
The moment he's most remembered for, the 30-footer to force overtime against Kansas in the regional semifinals on the way to the Final Four.
Once that shot went in, we all smelled blood, and it was a emotional time, and I mean that. We all were crying in that huddle. Like, that was a powerful moment for all of us. That goes deeper than basketball, and I think it just shows the connectivity that we had as a group.
Even after spending 9 years in the NBA, Trey says he thinks of his days at Chrysler all the time.
There hasn't been another team that I've created memories like this with. And I played for some great coaches in the NBA. I've had some great teammates in the NBA. Went deep in the playoffs with the Mavs. We went to the Western Conference Finals, but nothing tops this.
Burke cites Michigan and Coach Beilein as critical factors in his life's development, molding him as a player and as a person.
How do you summarize what this place means to you?
Home. Like, sometimes I try to think about these huge words and just these million-dollar answers. Home. It just didn't happen just by my work, you know what I mean? This was a collective group of people that poured into me, poured into my skill set, and I just trying to play my role and lead this team. And I'm grateful that this university is honoring and acknowledging me for doing that.
Back with Coach May, 2013, you were an assistant at Louisiana Tech. What do you recall about Trey Burke, the impact he had on college basketball that year, and the Michigan Wolverines going to the championship game?
Well, Trey was the leader of a team that was fun to watch as a basketball coach. When you watched those guys, you saw an unselfish group. You saw different guys step up each and every night, and you could tell that the players on that team believed Trey was going to will them to win and find a way to win. But he's just such a good human being. He has a warmth and spirit to him that is very effective when you're talking about leadership within a group. So it's an honor to be representing Michigan with him and being on his team, because our guys, our staff, we have a lot of respect for what he's done for this place.
What went into the decision to do this for him, to raise his jersey to the rafters?
I'm not sure. He's National Player of the Year. He's like I said, he left a legacy outside of just the National Player of the Year and the point guard of the year and all that, the way he treated people and the way people speak of him. And Ward asked me what I thought about, and I don't think I really had a decision to make, but I said, man, I'd love to be a part of it in any way, shape, or form. And then Coach Beilein took the bull by the horns and did a lot of the organization and planning to get the other guys back, because that's part of what makes it special. Trey Burke wouldn't be Trey Burke without his teammates and his coaches. So it's really cool to see those guys back sharing this moment together.
Lastly, in the bigger picture, can you talk about engaging alums, how important that is to a program as you build it up over the years here?
Yeah, it's paramount. We want the same thing. We want to be represented by they want to be represented by our staff and players in the right way. And we want to play the game the right way and represent every single person that's connected to this university, and especially in this ever-changing landscape. Our success is relying upon the contributions of our donors and everyone that gives to help make this work, and then also those who buy tickets and pay for parking and whatnot. So we're very appreciative that people not only give us their time and their money, because Chrysler was rocking tonight, and it's getting better and better every game.
All right, Coach, thanks a lot. Great win.
Appreciate it.
The Wolverines had 2 games in New Jersey last week, beginning Monday, January 19th, against number 5 Vanderbilt at the Coretta Scott King Classic.
The 7th-ranked Wolverines erased a 19-point deficit and pulled within 2 points twice in the final 5 minutes before falling 72-69. Commodore freshman guard Aubrey Galvin led all scorers with 20 points, while 3 Wolverines scored in double figures. Sophomores Kendall Dudley and Silas Swords led Michigan with 16 points apiece, while sophomore Olivia Olson added 14. Senior Brooke Quarles-Daniels contributed 7 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 steals for the Maize and Blue. Michigan was in Piscataway Thursday to take on Rutgers, and this was no contest. The Wolverines went on an early 9-0 run and took an 18-point first-quarter lead. 5 Wolverines scored in double digits, with Swords hitting 4 triples on her way to 16 points. Olsen shared scoring honors with Swords. Mila Holloway turned in 15 for the Maize and Blue, hitting 3 of 5 from deep. Jersey native Tiala Delfas also chipped in with 15 points, and Dudley put up 10 and 8 as the Wolverines scored 36 points off of 28 Scarlet Knight turnovers. The final 94-60, and congrats to head coach Kim Barnes-Arico, becoming the first Michigan basketball coach to win 300 games.
The women host USC Sunday at 2 o'clock and then travel to Indiana on Thursday. The men have a huge week in store at home Tuesday night against Nebraska and then Friday up in East Lansing against the Spartans. We'll break it down for you on the next edition of Inside Michigan Basketball.
Inside Michigan Basketball is brought to you by Meijer, proud supporter of hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest.